Welcome to our next episode in transmuting your body into a powerhouse. Hopefully you've been following along. Now, there's no arguing that we live in turbulent times. And so you might be asking, why are we spending so much time on turning our body into a powerhouse? And why is, Bersabel, why is that important, even more so probably in turbulent times?
Well, because if you have an unhealthy body, then it just makes things a lot worse.
Exactly.
It makes you feel worse. Yeah.
You get sick. Mm-hmm. You stress. You don't perform. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are getting sick, physically sick in today's world, and a lot of that is psychosomatic. So let's focus in on that particular topic here today and talk about learning to manage stress. Now, stress appears to be a major problem in today's world. I think that's very evident. Yet stress is not really the enemy. What is the enemy?
Lack of recovery.
That's right. Lack of recovery. And there's massive research that's been conducted by Dr. Hans Selye on the concept of stress. And he found that there's how many types of stress? Do you remember? Two types. Do you remember what they're called?
Eustress and E-stress or something like that.
Distress. Eustress and distress. And which one is the typical one that we normally call stress?
Distress?
That's right. It's a stress that stresses you out, quite frankly. Yeah. Yet there's another type of stress called eustress, as Bersabel said, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S. And eustress is not exhausting, it's actually invigorating. Eustress is kind of like creative tension. Yeah. It's the tension between where you currently reside and the gap in between that exists between the point where you are and the point where you choose to be. And it's in this gap that the tension, eustress, motors us forward. And we want that type of stress. Without that type of stress, we sit in place and we become complacent and bored, and that's not a fulfilling life. No. But all that to say, because so many are experiencing distress, what we typically call stress, in today's world, let's talk about this form of stress specifically today and how we can minimize that, because it causes all types of maladies. A recent study, in fact, shows that inflammation in the body is caused by a variety of stress-related diseases. And now inflammation is known to be one of the leading causes of death, inflammation in the body, as well as other diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and many more. So obviously, we want to decrease inflammation, and to do that, we have to manage stress.
Sure.
We maintain that, once again, stress is not the enemy. The enemy is
lack of recovery.
Therefore, it's imperative that you transmute your body into a powerhouse and you learn to manage and recover from stress fully and completely. Sure. Not avoid it. Is it really impossible, or is it possible to totally avoid stress?
No.
No. I mean, I wish it were, but it's not. And what we're suggesting here is not to avoid it, but to utilize that and to recover from it.
Sure.
An article published in Everyday Health, containing research by Dr. Alka Gupta, finds a few important things. In emotional, psychological, or physical stress, your body goes into flight or fight mode. Mm-hmm. What's that feel like, Bersabel? You've experienced that.
It's not fun.
It's not fun?
No.
What is it?
Well, your body, you release a bunch of adrenaline that is unnecessary.
That's right.
I mean, fight or flight, I think the saying should say it, pretty much sum it up for you and how you feel inside. So. Yeah,
you either want to run or you want to fight. It releases not only adrenaline, but it releases more cortisol to suppress non-essential functions like your immune system, your digestive system. It also releases hormones that produce more blood sugar, which which boost energy to the large muscles.
Preparing them to fight.
That's right. Preparing or run or flee,
okay.
Right?
Well, you know what I would do?
What would you do?
I would fight. I would not run.
Okay. Well, at the same time, it inhibits insulin production, which narrows arteries and forces the blood to pump harder. Adrenaline, as Bersma said, is released and increased. Your heart rate and your respiratory rate are increased because of that adrenaline. Your body makes more sugar. It decreases white blood cells that are part of the immune system, leaving you a risk for viral infections like the common cold and many, many others. Check your life history and honestly consider and contemplate how many times have you gotten the flu or a common cold after a big bout of a stressful situation.
Sure.
It's very common. And all this and more is a result of one thing: stress. So hopefully it's obvious why good stress management as well as good recovery are imperative to your health and longevity. And we know that makes sense to you. So here are the few things you can do. First thing you can do, work out. Now, doesn't working out increase or create stress on the muscles, Bersma?
That's good stress.
And how's it good?
How is it good?
Yes.
Well, because it's you feel good when you work out,
especially when you're done.
Especially when you're done, you're ready to leave. That's the best.
Maybe not in the middle of it. It does create stress on the muscles, but it does also help decrease mental and emotional stress.
Sure.
How many times have you gone into the gym, hopefully you have, and taken out some of your stressful...
Taking the edge off.
That's right. Mental attitudes and feelings on the gym. We suggest that you work out at least 4 days a week. As an interesting aside, psychological studies show that couples who exercise together have a much happier, more connected relationship. Is a happier and connected relationship great for recovery, Bersma?
Yes, because if you have the opposite, then you have a lot of stress.
Yes, you have a lot of stress, and it's very hard not to let that bleed over into other areas of your life.
For sure.
Now, meditation is great, and the reality is meditation doesn't need to be more than 10 or 15 minutes. Particularly when it's coupled with deep diaphragmatic breathing, it's even better. Most of us breathe really high in the chest, but if you can breathe deep in the diaphragm and expand your abdomen as you breathe, that really helps bring the stressful energies down. Blowing out very forcefully is something you might do naturally when you're stressed and why are you laughing?
Yeah, because I think most women do that anyway.
Most women. Are you speaking from experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yoga postures are great to release tension in the body and the mind, create flexibility, and decrease stress. And you can go to a class, certainly, if you like, but that's not necessary either. I particularly do several yoga postures every single morning on my own. I don't go to a class or after a workout.
Yes.
Now, Bersha doesn't do a lot of yoga postures, but what do you do?
I watch you.
You do not watch me. You can watch me anytime you want. Sweetheart.
Okay.
But what is it you do twice a day?
I roll out. I roll out my muscles.
On a what is
a foam roller?
Foam roller.
I think it's foam roller.
I think so too. And isn't it great for physical relaxation?
Yes.
I always see her on our bedroom floor prior to us going to bed, and she's rolling out. Yeah. So that's another great way to decrease stress. Here's another one. We've talked quite a bit about this in the series. Eat good, healthy foods.
Sure.
And that's a huge factor. When your body has proper nutrients, it performs much more efficiently and effectively.
Yes.
You need to have plenty of grass-fed and finished beef because that has the absolute best amino acid profile, the best essential fatty acids. What else should you have?
Plenty of organic grains, plenty of water.
Pure water.
Pure water. Well,
not tap water.
Oh, no. God, I hope not.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
What are some things we should avoid?
Oh, sugar.
Sugar is...
Put the ice cream away.
Put the ice cream away. And the candy bars. Sugar is horrible for your brain.
Yeah, it's a short-term fix.
You know, and now it's been proven to facilitate and lead to Alzheimer's. White flours, we call those the white devils. All kinds of junk foods should be avoided. Now, there are probably a lot more strategies, but hopefully this gives you some things to take action on and ideas to implement to turn your body into a powerhouse and to manage more efficiently stress. Hopefully this has been helpful. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.